Mufasa Bros.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Alvi. Been a while since I've done some commentary, but I thought I'd post something for non-meta Mondays. It's a little series we want to start posting more consistently. Wanted to post a little bit last week. I wanted to post a video or two, but with the North American Continentals going on, I figured that YouTube would be flooded with content. So I said I'm gonna wait till Monday to post something. So I'm here, I'm playing with my boy Kev. He's on that Redfasa, that's his favorite deck. He's a Mufasa enthusiast. He's always making new builds. So he said, hey, I have a deck. I want to try this high baller, high roulette version of the deck. And I said, all right, I'll play you. So I built this other Mufasa deck. This is a lemon lime Mufasa. I'm on the draw right now. So it's always scary going against a deck that can flood the board. Especially with the deck I'm playing, there's not a lot of removal or any ways to answer Redfasa. So if he gets those damaged characters out, it's hard to stop the healing. I do play Cloud Kicker, so I can bounce back Mulans, but even the Gothels, I can't stop him from healing. This deck is stronger on the play because it's more of an aggro build. But you can see here, he already has the Flynn. I was able to stop it for a turn with the Bonsai. So he's not completely destroying me yet, but with that Gaston, he's able to exert it, drop the Gothel for free, and then play the Rapunzel to heal up for 4. I am at such a tempo loss here. I did not have a 1-drop. I didn't resolve the Hey the first time. The second time I dropped it, but seeing 2 Hey, that's the 3rd Hey in my hand. I didn't have many answers to his board, so I already had such a slow start that I was gonna find it super hard to come back from this. But where there's a will, there's a way. Hopefully I can draw into an answer, which I probably won't because I know the deck. I built it. We're always building new decks. We're trying to make this content. It's fun for you guys to watch these weird, wacky decks. We have so many extra cards sometimes that we're just hey, let's just deck build something so that we can make some cool videos. Redfasa is a pretty good rogue deck right now. You can see that he inked that Mickey tiny, I forgot what that card is called, but it's an 8-cost evasive character. Quest for a ton of lore. So he's doing all this wacky stuff now. He's exerting Gaston to play stuff for cheap. He's doing goofies. He's gaining lore. He has 6 characters in play right now. I have 4. I don't really have anything that can take out his board. And it just keeps getting worse and worse, as you can see. So we're going to try to be posting more videos like this with set champs coming up. It's going to be a little hard. We're trying to test some more competitive builds for set champs. Hopefully we perform well and we get some deck profiles going. But we're trying to make a priority to post at least once a week, twice if we're able to. Making commentary can be difficult sometimes. Just finding a quiet space to commentate over. It's hard to find space in my schedule because I do work full time and I try to play when I have the chance, but I also train jiu-jitsu, so I try to split my schedule pretty evenly. I like to play Lorcana when I'm sore, that way it keeps my mind off training. As you can see here, this guy has 8 characters on board, and I'm like, what do I even do here? Bonsai, Hey, and Daisy cannot compete with that. I paid invited to the ball, was able to pick up 2 more cards. One of them's a Peter Pan card. That card is interesting. I figured this would be a cool deck to try that card. It comes in exerted, and your opponent can't quest unless they challenge him first. So that could have possibly held him back a turn. But man, I don't see a way to answer this board, and I think I scoop sometime soon. So yeah, here we go. I scoop. I said, you got it. Let me be on the play. And then this next round, you'll see a little bit more of what this deck can do. So like I was saying, we're getting ready to play some set champs. We've been testing a couple different decks. I've been interested in Blurple, of course. That's like my favorite deck, but also Purple Steel. Kevin has been testing a lot of Redfasa. He really wants to take that deck, and if anybody can win with it, it's gonna be him. Here's a card that you don't see too often, the Pluto. I love Pluto. I think it's a good card because it lets you play your 3-cost characters on turn 2. So in this deck, ideally, you're playing the Cloud Kicker so you can gain some tempo and be able to quest out a little bit quicker. So you see me ink something, you see the Cloud Kicker in my hand. I'm contemplating it right now. I don't remember if I actually play it. I do. Okay, that delays him a turn from healing his cards with Julieta or a Rapunzel. So on turn 2, you can see he inked the big Mulan. So anytime he inks a big Mulan, he's either gave up on the line or he has a second one. Since he has the Mulan in his hand, I'm going to assume he has a second one so he can just play it later. So I am playing Stitch as my 1-drop. I'm playing Pluto, I'm playing Clarabelle, and Daisies. So I'm playing a ton of 1-drops. With this deck, ideally what you want to do is you want to empty out your hand and then shift a big Clarabelle or play it for cheap and refuel your hand so that you can keep dropping smaller guys. And then Mufasa is more of a reassurance that when you get board wiped, you at least have some type of tempo going the rest of the match. I ink a Doc. This Doc, it's a one-of. I wasn't sure about playing it, but I needed to fill the deck in, so I said, why not? If you play this deck, comment below what you think would be a good way to answer your opponent boards, or what you think of the gameplay. I'll have my list linked on Dreamborn in the description if you want to check it out. I'll have both lists down below. But you can see that Clarabelle shift drew me, I think, 3 or 4 cards. So now I have all the tempo here. I have 4 characters out. He can play something for cheap, something, and he's either going to drop a Maui or a Medusa, and he does have the Maui. I risked it when I quested with the Clarabelle. I should have been more passive and maybe gotten some more draws off of it, but he takes it out with Maui. I'm not super concerned because I have 4 or 5 cards in my hand and I'm up by 6 lore, so I said I'm just gonna quest it. So I got me to 6. So here's starting to quest. Nope, he takes out the Pluto. He's stopping me from playing stuff a little bit early. I always speed up these videos about 15 to 20%. I'm not the best at commentating, and it helps me get through the video a little bit quicker until I kind of develop those skills. If there's an ideal tempo of like how fast this video goes, I try to stay under half hour, but talking for a half hour is still a lot. I'll try to get the boys in more often to commentate, but when we get together, it's hard to just not play and do actual like content work. So I did a pretty cool play where I quested with the Bonsai, and then I played the Gazelle, which gave it evasive, so it sticks for another turn. That's another 2 guaranteed lore. Kev here. Let's see what he does. I don't remember this gameplay too much, but he plays in this build. He plays Flint Sisu, and then he also plays the very big Sisu. So you always gotta keep in mind with all these small questers that you can get wiped out pretty early with the Gaston on board, because the Sisu shifts on 6, and Gaston cheapens that out to a 4. And he has 2 Gastons, which is crazy. Here you can see I'm on the Perdita. This deck has a lot of cool like animal characters. You play the Stitch, you play the Clarabelles, the Simbas, and Perdita is great. It can bring back the Bodyguard Simba. It can bring back Plutos. It can bring back Clarabelles if you have one you want to shift next turn. Here you see me quest out with everything. I'm at 14 lore, and the Daisy triggers. He gets a Queen of Hearts. and I pass it over to him. So my board is hefty right now. My board is looking real good. Now, some Redfasa builds play Be Prepared, some don't. When I've tested it, I've played it at 1 before. Depends on what's going on with the metal right now. Right now, I have it in my build. I don't know if he has it in this build. So I went really wide, which is what you want to do with this. And he plays a Mulan shift, which is almost as bad. In this scenario, it's not because I have a ton of characters, but he'll take out 3 for sure with that Mulan. 2 Gastons on the field is pretty scary because you can play something that costs 4 for free. He's over here thinking. Kevin's a big fan of Invited to the Ball, and I think that's a great card. I actually run it in this build too. I think I played Kevin maybe like 10 times, and I've only seen him miss with Invited once, especially in a character heavy build. You're most likely gonna hit every time, but he definitely has Rapunzel hands. Those things, his hands are like magnets for Rapunzels. Here he takes back a play, you know. We're just playing casually, so I don't mind at all. Even at locals, you know, if you're playing against a friend, it's not that big of a deal. They'll take a play back. It doesn't bother me, but I can understand if you're not about it, because sometimes when there's pricing on the line, it can, if he's not your homeboy, it's like, nah. But for the sake of great content, I want to make sure he's making the play he's sure about. So he ends up playing the Queen of Hearts and attacking in with Mulan. Takes out Daisy. And I think he's trying to decide what else he's taking out. Man, he cleared my board out. Leaves me with 2 characters. Mulan Shift has gotten really good with all these aggro decks being played right now. So I played a couple of copies in my Redfasa build right now. I'm not sure if I want to do 3 or 4, but here I'm questing out with Perdita, bringing back the Bonsai, and I play a Go-Go for game. That Mulan had 4 damage on it. I pay the cost and I go up to 21, and we close out the game. Pretty cool match. We'll try to make more of these. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see, and peace.